Welcome back, everyone, and I do mean everyone. It's Forgotten Circus. So let me go back to when I was a little kid, and I got a VHS of Tron, and I put that in, and then I was watching. It blew my mind. You know, I was young then, and the special effects, like the lighting, the grayscales, and everything. This is the beginning of my passion for movies. This is one of them that started my passion of watching movies, want to talk about movies. This is one of the, how can you say, the founding fathers of my imagination into filmmaking. And I remember seeing it. I didn't understand what it was. I did know that it was about computers and users, and there's this thing called the grid. And as I got older, I was like, "Oh, that's crazy!" And I would watch it over. And special effects at that time blew my mind, but today, if you actually watch it, it has a lot of rewatchability. You just got to get through the special effects because that was the top notch at its time. Yeah, but I still love to watch it. Don't get me wrong. And then they came out with like Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy. It was a movie. Yet again, they're a little bit ahead of us. Little bit ahead of us, And that movie, if it did okay at the box office, but it wasn't like it didn't. I mean, it wasn't taking all the Academy Awards and stuff. Special effects were so good in that movie, except for the de aging of Jeff Bridges, and we have come a long way from that. Definitely with the de aging of the face, because if you're watching that, that's the only times that I was like, I cannot watch. It's just unbearable in this scene. I kind of have to skip past it a little bit, but other than that, the special effects and everything else were phenomenal. The grid and the games. So, which I'm going to get into because I'm walking you into this one. And it's probably a movie that we didn't deserve at the time. If they were to do Tron Legacy now, oh, it would be bonkers. And Jeff Bridges can still pull it off, but it looks like he's not going to. And I'm going to get into some casting, what we know, but um, and now we have ARES, Tron ARES, which is basically Tron 3. So it's going to be starring Jared Leto. All right, I know Jared Leto's been lot of miss lately, but let's be honest here. He's an Academy Award winner, and when Jared Leto is at the top of his game, he's on fire, and he's a method actor. I kind of shy away from method actors just a little bit because sometimes it's like, dude, you're getting a little too serious. But looking like Daniel Day Lewis, I haven't seen one bad movie from him, and he's a method actor. So is that right? Method actor. But anyway, with Jared Leto, I think he's gonna be all in. But I'm confused about it because everybody knows in basically in Tron, red bad, blue good, orange suspect, white. Well, I'm saying it like, yeah, white colored lights. They're more or less like the ringleaders of stuff. And then the other ones, they stay in the middle. They're not ringleaders. I messed it up. They're kind of in the middle. They only do what benefits them basically. And then you have like Cora, which is the other program, which were basically born in the grid, out of the grid. They have no users. So, but with Ares, so Jared Leto, the the art that they have brought out, it's red, right? And then he's got, instead of his user disc on the back, with the user disc with all it's basically the information disc. It's everything that you are is on that disc. Um, that right there is puzzling because it's a triangle now. So I don't know if there's going to be a thing with shapes now, and if this is a new faction that's in the grid, maybe they're another, like the red faction that's basically trying to bring balance. But it says here that so there's like no promise because this movie's, they're keeping this pretty under wraps. Uh Showcases Ares, Leto's computer program on a journey from the digital world to the human one. Okay, so Jared Leto, whoever his character is, so Ares so their secondary names are usually user names. That's their user when they're in the grid. So these are like hackers and people going into the grid. So he's going to bring it to the real world. I think that's probably going to be good. That's probably bringing the grid to the real world because you kind of saw with Cora in the last one and Sam Flynn. So she was able to go from a program that's in the grid to our world. So they kind of opened that up. So it's gonna be tricky. How are you gonna do this? Because they are definitely more technologically advanced in the grid than we are. But the weird thing about this, it's like the same. We're moving at the same time as the grid. They're just way more advanced because it's multiple users. It's people like you just have to watch Tron. I can't really go too far into it. But is he going to be a bad guy? Because they got it's Tron Ares, so that's the god of war, right? So is he going to start a war with the grid and the human world, or because they do have Cameron Monaghan in it, Evan Peters too. So Evan Peters, is he going to be the antagonist, protagonist, anti-hero? Who knows? But let's be honest, Evan Peters can play a good bad guy. So, but Jared Leto is the one that's confusing for me. Is he good? Is he bad? Is he going to be one that um, basically defects to the other faction on the grid? I don't know how that's going to look. How are you going to pull this off? The grid in the real world, merging them like two merging dimensions almost. They're keeping it so under wraps. It kind of has me like super intrigued because I love the Trons. Whether you have some gripes with Tron Legacy, you know what I mean, because some of the CGI, it's still got a cult following. The original Tron has a cult following. We were always steps behind this movie. We were always steps behind. It was so far ahead of us, but now I think we have caught up. So this will make sense now because you got the push for AI, you got the push for everything's got to be a smart home and smart house, and then you got the metaverse, and people doing the Apple whatever that is, the weird goggles they wear that everybody's returning, but yeah, being in the metaverse and stuff and being immersed in it. Look how we're gaming now, you know put some headphones on, log in, internet kicks in, you're talking to everybody all over the world, you're connected using a character. We're there right now. This, how could you say this franchise has been predicting this since the 80s, man? That's insane. Insane. And we finally caught up. But that's the thing. What are you going to do with this movie? Because you have to make sci-fi is booming right now. Sci-fi is booming for real. So you got to make this one hot. But the only drawback and problem I have with this, it's a Disney product. That's a brand name. It's Disney. Disney has always owned this product. This is Disney's product, no matter what. They have always owned it. It's not like they bought it, anything like that. They have always. It is their thing. So, but then again, this might be one of their babies. You know what I mean? So we'll see what they do with it. I'm interested. We got a lot of people that like cult following that are gonna be like, yo, don't mess this up. Like, we'll let you slide with Tron Legacy because it did have some like the lights cycle scenes in the first one were great, but the way they did it in Legacy was, oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. The light cycles. And then what was the other one? It was the hyperball is where you got to hit the bars underneath people and then they fall. It's we need to see the arena if they can do the arena in the real world with. I don't know how they're going to pull this off. It's going to be insane. Or are they kind of tricking us like, yeah, we're going to we'll start to merge and then all of a sudden, um, Ares or whoever Evan Peters is playing one. Whoever's the villain or whoever's the hero is going to stop the merge between the two worlds. But here's my thing too: if you're going to do Tron, you got to have Tron in it somewhere. Tron. The movie is named after a security program that was instated. So on the grid, that security program is, he's like the Messiah. He's like the Jesus. He brings all balance. And then you got to mention like, Kevin Flynn. This is going to be a hard one because I think people, other than the cult following, people really don't know about Tron because it's been so many steps ahead. Like, and it's good that they've kept Tron Legacy on Disney Plus for a while. So when this starts ramping up, start to see it's going to be hard for some of the youth nowadays to watch the original Tron because special effects ain't the best, but they'll do if you want to learn the story more. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a hard one because you have to have a big budget for this one. It's because like the special effects got to be top notch. The light cycle scenes got to be. Oh, you imagine a light cycle going down like New York City? They're like having a fight in New York City with the light cycles. That'd be so ridiculous with people, and they're just running people over like people are running into the wall. Oh, I don't know. It has a. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Are you pumped about old Tron Ares, or you're like, whatever, it's had it, that ship has sailed, or can they pull it off? Can they reinvigorate or reimagine the beauty of Tron? Me, I'm on the fence, but from that art, from that picture of if that's Ares or not, that looks ridiculous. With a triangle disc, I don't know. But anyway, tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. It only takes one little click. I want everybody to subscribe, and I do mean everyone.